GG, Galero Gaming. Builds, guides, walkthroughs, and gameplay. Alright, so this is the first guide that we've got, and we're going to go over the Illusions Citadel. Now technically this is the third dungeon that you're going to run into, but the first two I never really had any issues with mechanics on. Basically just DPS'd right through them all. There was no real issues, no party wipes or anything like that I noticed. So you'll run through some falling debris and kill some ads to get to the first boss. Now once you get to the first boss, it's actually a pair of bosses. You'll have the Black Rook, which is the big guy that moves around on the map, and then you'll have what they're calling the Black Elephant. I'm assuming that this is an error in translation here, given that I was playing on the Russian server, but who knows. Now, the mechanic is pretty easy. It's going to require you to take what the Black Rook shoots at you and have it hit the Black Elephant in the middle of the room. So when you get to certain points in their health, the Black Rook will run to the outside of the map. 3 players in the party will get marked with a purple aura, and they have to move away from the main boss. The 4th member, who doesn't get marked with the aura, however, needs to put the Black Elephant, the mage in the middle of the room, between them and the Black Rook, so that when the Black Rook shoots his one-shot kill ability, it will hit the mage in the center and interrupt her from using the party wipe mechanic that she's charging up during this time going on. Now they'll do this mechanic twice in the fight. The second time, they will also spawn little chest pieces around the central boss. You'll have to destroy the ones that go between the mage and the Black Rook so that the attack doesn't hit one of those chest pieces and will hit the mage in the middle. Now, fairly simple. 3 players with the aura back away from the main boss. The person without the aura gets the middle boss between them and the Black Rook. Now that aura, however, will push the other players that it touches away. So if you happen to be too close to the center and push your party member without the aura away from it, the attack could miss. So make sure that you're paying attention to this and that you get into proper positions and you spread out a little bit. That way the person in the center can line the shot up right. And that way you don't have to wipe multiple times. Yeah, easy mechanic, but people tend to not follow mechanics for some reason, especially in the earlier stages of the game. Now, your next fight, that one's a little bit more challenging, but we'll get right into that. Once you clear a couple more rooms to get to the last boss, you'll come up to the last boss, which is the Black King. Gotta love the chest theme going on here. Now, he's got a few different mechanics. The first mechanic that you're going to run into is going to be where he basically pizza slices the whole room and has auras coming up through the area. Now, they're not going to do a lot of damage, but they will give you a slow debuff. Now, while this is going on, he's going to have a shield around him. Once you damage that shield out and get rid of it, the mechanic stops and you can go on attacking him. Now, his main mechanic that I've had the most issues with party members requires all 4 players to do the exact same thing. He will move to the middle of the room at 15 and 5 bars of health remaining. And when this occurs, everybody needs to spread out. He's going to send out 4 swords chasing people. These need to be picked up in a specific order. Now, the most common way is using the numbers that appear on your party list, saying who's 1, 2, 3, and 4 in the party. Or if you've got somebody who's higher level, does more damage, or has a higher impairment setup, like a berserker, for example, you can have them pick up the first sword and number yourselves in the party for the rest of it. Now, the person who's number 1 will stand about midway away from the boss to the edge of the room. So when the swords come out, they will be tracking each individual player. He can pick up his sword, go damage the main boss, and start from there. Now, when the sword gets picked up, it puts a debuff on the entire party. The debuff lasts about 2 to 3 seconds, give or take. And once the debuff disappears, player 2 picks up their sword and goes in and starts damaging the boss with player 1. You continue this on through 3 and 4. If 2 swords get picked up simultaneously, party wipe. If one person grabs 2, party wipe. If you don't break the shield, party wipe. You can see where this goes. You get about 7 seconds from each sword pickup to break the shield. It's really not that hard. The first time that I was running it, me and a berserker were 1 and 2 consecutively. Once we found each other in the party queue, we ended up getting in the same party multiple times in a row. Luckily, we had 2 parties that listened and 2 parties that didn't. The 2 parties that listened were when we got clears. So him and I could break the shield just between the 2 of us, so we just had the other people run around the outside of the room. Now, the best way to have them run around the outside of the room is going in the same direction so you don't cross paths with the swords. If you happen to grab somebody else's, it still counts as a pickup. So basically what ends up happening is player 1 picks up their sword, damages the boss, while players 2 through 4 are running clockwise around the room. After the debuff goes away, player 2 picks up theirs, damages, rinse, repeat. Very simple mechanic, but due to the complications of having it chase you, people tend to go the wrong way or stop for too long and get hit by the sword, so it can cause some issues there. But once you get the hang of it and people listen, fairly easy to get through. Nice, quick, easy fight. So this is your introductory into mechanics in Lost Ark. This is the first fight that you'll experience in here that has some hard mechanics. Well, can't really say hard, but has party wiping mechanics. So thank you. Hopefully this was able to help you get through that fight if you were doing it. Have a good day and enjoy whatever world you're jumping into next. Bye.